Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News. Fans, the villa was drenched in a golden sunset, the kind of light that made everything look softer, warmer, and deceptively perfect. The ocean waves lapped gently against the shore, a background symphony to what was supposed to be an unforgettable night on the Golden Bachelor. Cameras captured every glimmering detail, every stolen glance, every nervous laugh, but no one could have predicted the shock that was about to ripple through the house and the world. Carol Mitchell, a vibrant 34-year-old marketing executive from Denver, had been one of the frontrunners in Mel Owen's quest for love. From the very first cocktail party, she had stood out, not just for her dazzling smile or witty repartee, but for a certain authenticity that seemed to cut through the staged moments of the show. Fans at home loved her for it, the cast admired it. Even Mel himself had frequently commented on how refreshing she was. Yet tonight, as the contestants filed into the candlelit dining area for what was supposed to be a romantic dinner, Carol's usual sparkle seemed dimmer. Her laughter didn't reach her eyes. Her jokes were lighter, almost rehearsed. The cameras, ever watchful, zoomed in on her subtle fidgeting, her glance toward the ocean, and then back toward Mel, who sat waiting, unaware of the storm about to unfold. A dinner full of tension. The evening had started normally enough. Mel, ever the charmer, had poured wine and complimented the ensemble of dresses and suits around him. The other contestants chatted nervously, some trying to hide the weight of the competition in smiles, others fuming quietly at the thought that they might not make it through the night. But the tension in Carol's corner of the room was palpable. "You okay?" whispered Jenna, a fellow contestant who had become a cautious ally over the past few weeks. Carol nodded but didn't answer immediately. She stirred her wine, watching it swirl in the glass, thinking about the weeks of dates, conversations, and laughs that had led up to this very moment. I think I need to say something," Carol murmured finally, her voice barely above the sound of the waves outside. Jenna raised an eyebrow, sensing what was coming. The moment of truth. The room fell into an almost imperceptible hush as Carol stood. Every camera in the villa pivoted toward her, the producers holding their collective breath. Mel," she began, her voice quivering slightly but carrying a strange sense of clarity. "I've been honest with myself this whole time. I've tried to see where this could go, and I've realized he's not my guy." The words hung in the air like lightning strike. Gasps erupted around the table. A few contestants' hands flew to their mouths. The production crew whispered urgently into their headsets, unsure whether to intervene or let the drama unfold naturally. Mel's face froze, a smile caught mid-breath. "Wait, what?" he asked, his voice laced with confusion, disbelief, and just a touch of hurt. Carol took a deep breath, her eyes meeting his with unwavering honesty. I can't pretend anymore. This isn't fair to either of us. I need to leave. Now." And with that, she turned and walked toward the villa doors, her heels clicking softly against the marble floor, leaving a stunned room and a heartbroken bachelor in her wake. Chaos and confusion. As Carol exited, the cameras followed, capturing her silhouette against the backdrop of the glowing sunset. Fans watching from home exploded on social media. Tweets, posts, and live streams of the moment flooded every platform with hashtags like Carol says no, Golden Bachelor shock, and Mel not her guy trending worldwide. Inside, Mel sat frozen. He was used to rejection in some form, it came with the territory, but the directness of Carol's decision left him speechless. Is she gone?" Jenna asked, her voice trembling. "Yes," Mel said finally, his hand running through his hair. She just left." The remaining contestants exchanged uneasy glances. Some felt relief, others guilt, and yet everyone knew that this was a moment that would be talked about long after the season ended, a moment that defied the scripted tension the producers had hoped for and left a raw, unfiltered mark on the show. Behind the scenes, back in her room, Carol sat on the edge of the bed, exhaling heavily. She could feel the weight of the cameras, even though they were no longer on her. Her heart was racing, not from fear, but from a sense of liberation. I can't do this. I need someone who sparks something real. This isn't it. Her decision had been agonizing. Weeks of dates, emotional conversations, and public attention had clouded her judgment. But in the quiet moments alone, she realized she couldn't force chemistry that didn't exist. She wasn't walking away because she didn't like Mel. She was walking away because she respected herself and knew she deserved more. Mel's reaction. Mel, meanwhile, retreated to the balcony, staring out at the ocean with a mixture of confusion and awe. He had felt a connection with Carol, but he also knew that love couldn't be manufactured, and though it stung, he had to admire her courage. She knows what she wants, he muttered to himself, a hint of a smile breaking through. But the heartbreak lingered, and the producers knew the night's fallout would dominate the headlines. Social media erupted with speculation, memes, and fan reactions ranging from sympathy to outrage. Carol's exit was unlike anything the Golden Bachelor had ever
Carol's
seen.
heels had disappeared down the villa path, the world outside had already exploded. Within minutes, the Golden Bachelor official hashtag was trending globally. Fans tweeted, posted, and commented in a frenzy. Did Carol just leave? I can't believe it! Hashtag Golden Bachelor shock. Mel is heartbroken, but respect to Carol for being honest. This is real. Hashtag Carol says no. Wait, she sent herself home? This isn't scripted. Hashtag Golden Bachelor drama. The producers were scrambling. Social media managers were typing furiously, attempting to frame the narrative, but the truth was undeniable. Carol's exit was unscripted, raw, and utterly captivating. Clips of her final words were already going viral. Meanwhile, fans created memes, reaction videos, and speculative threads about why Carol left. Was it Mel? Was it the pressure? Or did she simply not feel the spark? Every theory had a devoted army ready to defend or critique her choice. Even late-night talk shows picked up the story. The next morning, hosts debated her decision with gusto. Some say Carol's bold move is empowering, said one commentator. Others say she wasted everyone's time, Mel's included. But one thing is clear, she made herself heard. Inside the villa, the atmosphere was electric. Contestants whispered, glancing at each other with a mix of shock, admiration, and disbelief. Did she just leave on her own? Asked Karen, nervously twirling her hair. She did, said Jenna. I mean, I respect her honesty, but wow, she really just walked out. Some contestants saw the departure as a strategic relief. They were one step closer to Mel. Others felt guilty. After all, Carol had been a friend, a confidant, someone who shared laughs and late-night secrets. Mel sat in stunned silence, replaying her words in his mind. She's not my guy, he muttered to himself, trying to process. There was a hollow ache, but also a grudging admiration. It took courage to leave when it would have been easier to stay and go through the motions. Back in her hotel room, Carol collapsed onto the bed. The villa lights dimmed, but her mind was alive with reflection. She thought about the weeks she had spent laughing, crying, and exploring what could have been. Every date, every private conversation had been a window into potential love, but also a mirror into her own heart. She remembered the moment she realized the spark, that inexplicable pull she had expected, simply wasn't there. It's not about him, she whispered, brushing her hair back. It's about me knowing I deserve someone who makes my heart race, not just a polite connection, and I can't fake it, not for the cameras, not for anyone. Her phone buzzed incessantly, friends and family sending texts of support, fans tagging her in reaction posts, reporters seeking statements. Carol ignored it all, savoring the quiet satisfaction of a choice fully her own. Mel, meanwhile, paced the villa balcony. His thoughts raced. Had he misread Carol? Was he not enough? Could love even happen under the glare of cameras? I thought we had a connection, he said aloud. I guess it wasn't enough for her. But beneath the sting of rejection was a kernel of understanding. Love couldn't be coerced. Chemistry couldn't be manufactured. And though it hurt, Mel knew that Carol's honesty was the purest gift he could receive. The remaining contestants approached, sensing his need for space. He smiled faintly, but the weight of the night lingered. Let's just keep going, he said softly. Tonight's unexpected, but that's life. That's love. Across social media, two camps quickly formed. Team Carol praised her bravery. Carol left because she knew her worth. She didn't settle. That's inspiring. Hashtag Queen Carol. Team Mel expressed heartbreak and frustration. Mel deserves better. I hope someone finally appreciates him fully. Hashtag Mel Heartbroken. Influencers jumped in, dissecting body language, speculating on dates, and predicting who might win Mel's heart next. Every post, comment, and story amplified the drama, making Carol's decision a cultural moment far beyond the show itself. The next morning, the villa was quieter, but charged with an uneasy energy. Contestants speculated about who might gain Mel's attention now. Every interaction was sharper, every glance calculated. Carol's absence was felt not just by Mel, but by the dynamics of the entire house. Jenna approached Mel hesitantly. "You okay?" she asked. Mel sighed. "Yeah, it's unexpected, that's all." She was honest, which is more than I can say for some people. The producers watched closely. Ratings were already spiking. The unplanned drama was exactly what networks live for. And yet, for those inside, it was a reminder that reality and real emotions could never be fully
After
scripted.
Carol's dramatic exit, Mel Owens woke up in the villa with a sense of quiet determination. He knew the spotlight would intensify now. Every choice, every word, every glance scrutinized by millions of viewers. Yet beneath the pressure, he felt a strange sense of relief. Carol's honesty, though painful, had cleared the air. The remaining contestants gathered for the morning group challenge, a mix of laughter and tension hanging in the room. Whispers of Carol's departure still lingered. "Do you think she'll come back?" one contestant asked nervously. Mel shook his head. "No. Carol made her choice, and I respect that. But life goes on, right?" He gave a small, encouraging smile. The room quieted as everyone sensed the gravity in his tone. The game had changed. The stakes were higher, and the emotional roller coaster of love under the cameras was far from over. While the villa buzzed with speculation, Carol's life had shifted into another kind of spotlight. By morning, fans had flooded her social media accounts with messages of admiration. Interviews began piling up, podcasts, lifestyle blogs, even major entertainment outlets wanted her perspective. Carol decided to release a statement. "I walked away because I knew what I needed. I respect Mel, and I hope he finds the love he deserves. But I can't compromise my heart. Being honest with yourself is the bravest thing you can do." The statement went viral, earning praise from fans worldwide. Many saw her as a symbol of authenticity in a world where reality TV often rewards strategy over sincerity. Back in the villa, tension had reached a peak fever. Contestants recalibrated, knowing the game was now unpredictable. Some grew closer to Mel, sensing vulnerability. Others withdrew, unsure how to navigate the emotional terrain. Jenna noticed the subtle change. "Mel seems different," she whispered to another contestant. "He's more reflective. I think Carol really affected him." Mel spent the next days balancing the show's pressure with genuine attempts to connect with the remaining contestants. Every interaction carried an undercurrent of the lessons Carol's departure had taught him. Honesty matters, chemistry can't be forced, and vulnerability is both a strength and a risk. Rumors began circulating. Could Carol reappear? Fans speculated wildly online, fueling talk shows and gossip columns. Then, in a twist no one anticipated, the producers announced a special Message from Home segment. Carol appeared via video call, her bright smile lighting up the screen. "Hey Mel, I just wanted to check in. I hope you're okay. You're amazing, and I really mean that. I just know we're not right for each other, and that's okay." Mel, watching on the villa's big screen, felt a mixture of nostalgia and closure. The gesture was simple, but it gave him perspective. Love wasn't about forcing moments or conforming to expectations. It was about alignment, connection, and mutual understanding. After the video call, Mel took time for reflection. He walked along the villa's beach, letting the waves wash over him as he processed everything. "She's right," he whispered to himself. "We weren't right. And that's not failure. It's clarity. I'm grateful for her honesty." Mel's confidence shifted subtly. No longer driven solely by the competition, he started looking for connections with authenticity, understanding that vulnerability could coexist with strength. The fans were enthralled. Social media exploded with reactions to Carol's video message. "Carol is a queen. So honest, so brave. #respect Carol." Mel is learning the real lesson. Chemistry isn't scripted. #Golden Bachelor Wisdom. The storyline became more than a moment of drama. It evolved into a narrative about self-respect, emotional intelligence, and the courage to make hard choices. Carol's decision to leave and her thoughtful message resonated with audiences worldwide. As the season progressed, Mel's journey became richer. He bonded more deeply with contestants who shared similar values, those who embraced honesty, vulnerability, and fun. The villa atmosphere, while still competitive, carried a renewed sense of sincerity. Carol, meanwhile, returned to her life outside the cameras with newfound confidence. She appeared in interviews, celebrated her courage, and began focusing on projects she had always wanted to pursue. Fans continued to cheer her on, making her an unexpected star of the season, even in absence. The Golden Bachelor season continued, but the moment of Carol sending herself home remained iconic. It sparked conversations about authenticity in relationships, the pressures of reality TV, and the importance of self-awareness. Mel often reflected on the experience. He learned that heartbreak could be enlightening, and that the right connection was worth waiting for, someone who aligned with heart, mind, and spirit. Carol's exit had shaken the show, stunned the fans, and left an enduring mark on the narrative of love in the limelight. Her courage reminded everyone watching that sometimes the bravest choice is to walk away when your heart knows the truth. Months later, Carol was thriving, traveling, meeting new people, and pursuing her passions with an unshakable sense of self. Mel had moved forward to embracing a deeper understanding of love and connection. The fans still revisited that unforgettable night, the sunset, the words, the courage, and celebrated Carol as a symbol of empowerment. Her decision had changed the game, proving that authenticity can outshine drama, and that honesty, no matter how shocking, is the ultimate act of strength. And somewhere in the villa's memories, the echo of her words lingered. "He's not my guy." A simple phrase, yet one that reshaped the season and inspired a generation of viewers to honor their hearts above all else.
The morning after Carol's departure, the villa was a whirlwind of whispers and speculation. Contestants moved through the corridors with a mix of caution and curiosity. Every glance at Mel carried a weight that hadn't existed before. Every casual conversation was colored by the tension of what had just happened. Jenna, who had been Carol's closest ally, pulled Mel aside. "It's a lot, isn't it?" she said softly. Mel nodded, staring out at the ocean. "Yeah, I didn't expect it. But I can't be upset. Carol was honest, and I respect that. I just didn't see it coming." Other contestants watched the interaction, some feeling jealousy, others empathy. The dynamics had shifted overnight. Suddenly, everyone's strategy was upended. The remaining women realized that the rules of engagement had changed. Authenticity mattered more than charm, courage more than flirting, and vulnerability more than perfect dates. Outside the villa, the story exploded. Entertainment networks ran continuous coverage, clips of Carol's exit, fan reactions, and expert commentary dissecting the impact on Mel and the remaining contestants. Late-night talk shows had a field day. In a world of reality TV theatrics, Carol did the unthinkable. She sent herself home. "Bold, brash, and brilliant," a host exclaimed.
Memes flooded social media. Carol walking out became a symbol of empowerment. Her heels clicking against the marble floor turned into GIFs, and every viewer felt compelled to weigh in. Team Carol praised her bravery and authenticity. Team Mel expressed heartbreak, defending him as a misunderstood romantic. The hashtags Carol Says No, Golden Bachelor Shock, and Mel Heartbroken trended worldwide for days. Even the cast couldn't escape the global attention. They were constantly reminded that reality TV was now a blend of performance and life-altering decisions. Carol's decision, once private, became her defining moment. She was invited to interviews, podcasts, and digital talk shows where she reflected candidly on her choice. "It wasn't easy," she said, "but I realized staying would have been unfair, to me and to Mel. I couldn't compromise my heart." Her authenticity resonated deeply with viewers. Fans praised her as a role model for standing firm in her convictions, reminding the world that vulnerability was strength and that honesty was power. Carol's social media following skyrocketed. She posted glimpses of her life post-villa, sunset walks, travel adventures, and moments of reflection. Her narrative became about empowerment, independence, and self-awareness. Back in the villa, Mel reflected on his own growth. The shock of Carol's departure forced him to confront his expectations, insecurities, and understanding of love. Walking along the villa's beach at sunset, he whispered to himself, "I can't force love. I can't manufacture chemistry. Carol taught me something invaluable. Honesty matters more than appearances, and connection can't be rushed." His perspective shifted. He approached the remaining contestants differently, more thoughtfully, more openly. Vulnerability replaced performance, and sincerity replaced strategy. The contestants noticed the change. Conversations deepened. Emotional walls came down. The villa became a space where authenticity was rewarded more than charm, and Mel's journey became as much about personal growth as romantic pursuit. As the season progressed, the drama didn't stop. A surprise twist revealed that the producers were bringing in a wild card contestant, a mysterious personality whose personality would challenge Mel in ways no one expected. The villa buzzed with speculation. Could this newcomer spark the chemistry that Carol hadn't felt? Or would Mel's heart remain cautious, now tempered by the lessons of honesty and integrity? Fans speculated wildly online. Theories ranged from "this contestant will be Carol 2.0" to "Mel's heart is too cautious now for anyone to win him over." Every revelation fueled excitement, engagement, and emotional investment. Carol's decision left a lasting impression, not just on the show, but on the way audiences perceived reality TV romance. Her courage redefined what it meant to win a reality show. Sometimes walking away is the most powerful statement of all. Merchandise, memes, and social media trends kept her exit alive in pop culture discourse. Talk shows referenced her decision months later, framing it as a masterclass in self-respect and emotional intelligence. Even within the villa, her presence lingered. Mel often reflected on the lessons she imparted, and contestants carried the memory of her authenticity as a reminder to remain true to themselves amid the pressures of competition and cameras. As the final episodes approached, tension reached peak. Mel had grown emotionally, the remaining contestants were more authentic than ever before, and viewers were glued to every moment. The shadow of Carol's departure hung over the season, influencing choices, conversations, and emotional stakes. The finale promised fireworks, romantic confessions, heartfelt apologies, and the ultimate question: would Mel find a connection as genuine as the one Carol had refused to force? The world watched with bated breath, social media alive with speculation. Will Mel find his match? Can anyone fill the void Carol left? This season is unforgettable. #Golden Bachelor Shock. And as the cameras rolled, the legacy of Carol's courage shone brightly, a reminder that love, honesty, and self-respect are always worth prioritizing, even under the spotlight of reality TV.